Hello. I got a healing rock here from the ocean. And I want to discuss the difference between self-love and selfishness. And it gets confused all over the place by so many people. I see people confusing these things, and most people don't know what is what, and they have been so misled and anti-informed, anti-educated, and so brainwashed and biased in so many wrong directions. It's incredibly awful and heartbreaking to see. So, like, I gotta use examples again. I'm listening to Jiddu Krishnamurti at the same time. So, examples are like, if I love my body, for example, this is not well received by society. And immediately they jump to the conclusions and they go like, well, you must be selfish, you must be shallow, you must be vain, you must be this or you must be that, you must be into yourself, you must be conceited. All of these things, they even call it evil and Satan and bad and all of this. I mean, that's pretty darn awful if society has drilled into you that much that you cannot even love your own bodies, you can't even be good to your own body cells and feed yourself properly, be kind to yourself, and if no one else understands you, at least you understand yourself. So we're not allowed to do this because we're gonna be too afraid to be labeled selfish or something, some other bullshit. That's very sad. Who do you have? If you don't have yourself, who do you have? Who do you have to count on, really? And so that's why there's so many people in such utter confusion in the world, and it's really sad. It's really painful for me to see this. How incredibly confused people are about this. Well, let me assure you that there is absolutely nothing wrong with nurturing yourself and feeding yourself and being good to yourself and giving yourself whole food for the body and whole food for the mind as well, in thought form, in book form, whole food for the brain in book form, in blog form, in video form. So truth, love, compassion, for yourself and for all living beings. I am not better than any other being, okay? So, but I love myself. Okay? I'm equally precious, so I love myself. This is my body, and I love myself. I feed myself good stuff. I sleep long. My well-being comes before anything else. It comes before bullshit anyway, like self-image and prestige. I don't want that in my life at all. It comes before any kind of achievement. No, you have to, time is running out, and all of that BS. Like, whatever people think, I need to accomplish this now before this is, and before I'm 30, and or then I can't get this done. That's all complete. That's all total misunderstanding. What you need to do is you need to love yourself, you need to nurture yourself, and that is the best thing in the world. And then you are strong and well, and then you can, out of this mind state and body state, then you can be there for someone else much better. You can be there for another living being, an animal or human, much better than if you are unbalanced or struggling or confused or not well or addicted on something. So this is fact. Yeah. So and addictions, I want to say this again and again and again in my videos. It is not an option. Okay. People think it's some kind of option, some kind of patch or something. No, it's not. Okay. Addiction to a substance is a dead end street and it will end in death. Okay. And not just nicely, not just smoothly. Okay. It will ride you into the ruin, and those people around you will suffer from that as well. And some people suffer horrifically. And some people even die. Some beings, animals or humans, they might even die. And it has happened many times because the person decided that he's going to use drugs. He thinks that's some kind of option. It's not an option at all. Absolutely not at all. And alcohol, I count that into that same field. Alcohol is a drug. It's a real bad one. And nicotine, okay, it's a real bad addictive drug. Real horrific. Yes. Papa dog sleeping on the couch. I'm making a video. I don't want to have to turn it off. Okay. He was just gonna say where we're gonna go to. And then I would have to turn the entire video off and try again. And then I lose completely my train of thought and everything. That's not good. A couple of times I accidentally filmed the license plate number. I was watching the video again, which I usually do, when I'm filming outdoors. I always to make sure that I don't accidentally have something that shouldn't be in the video. And sure enough, a couple of times, even if it's just a split second, a hater will freeze that and write that down. So I have people come to my Facebook channel. I want to meet you. There's one girl. I want to meet you. It's like, sorry, I don't trust anybody. Oh, really? Really? Yeah, really. And you should understand that. If you see the news, and if you introspect a little bit, and if you look at your own worries that you have for yourself, you should understand that someone else has the same worries. Yes, I'm talking to the haters. It's very annoying. Particularly men are like, the woman is our, these are our toys, sex dolls. They have to perform. Then we beat them and we kill, you see. Yes, it's the most normal thing in the world. But they themselves, no, no, they don't want to be killed. They don't want to be incarcerated, and they don't want to be hurt by anyone. If someone even looks at them funny, they fly off the handle. But they can be as abusive as it gets all day long to women and anyone. And they think that's perfectly okay, right? Yeah, that's what's called double standard, okay? and it's not good, not good at all. It makes me very angry, makes grandma, mama of all beings very, very angry. Yes, you better believe it. But I think these people are not in the right mind state to even understand this. It's like they're in this, they have cut that off, the feeling for someone else. And that's where selfishness comes in. That's the other side of the coin. We have on one side we have self-love, which is wholesome and nurturing and wonderful. On the other side of the spectrum, we have selfishness. That's when the person becomes a psychopath. That's when they become sociopaths. That's when they don't feel the needs or the beingness of that other life form anymore. They just take and reap and plunder and exploit, whether that is for their own hobby, personal life, or industries. And if it's for an industry, then they don't even think twice about it. They go like, "That's my job. Oh, I don't want to lose my job. I don't want to lose my customers. I don't even want to say anything against this or that because I might lose my customers. I might lose subscribers." So no, that's how people are thinking. So that's the only thing. That's called selfishness. When people say, "Please subscribe to my channel and click the like button," when I see people do this, that is selfishness. Okay, sorry to say it, but it is. So I just personally, I just could not possibly say something like this. Could not possibly do. Some people have this subscribe sign behind them on the wall to make sure people see it. It's like whether it's something they put up on their wall in their room or they put up on the screen, when they edit it with, I don't know, I think YouTube has that option. Or YouTube in the beginning, like a couple of years ago, they would send me emails and say, "You got good content. I bet you don't think that way." So, and don't you want to expand your audience? Yeah, would be nice so I get the message across to the world, but not on cost of my humbleness or my intellectualism. Yeah, ego is involved in this too. I have these kind of things too. I got shame and all of these kind of things. I don't have pride though. But no, but seriously, I'll be shamed about acting like this. To ask someone to subscribe or click the like button. That's not what my video is about. And but the world, see, the whole society, they don't welcome humbleness. But then they go to their church meeting, and then I think this humbleness shit is somewhere in the Bible, and then they go, "Yeah, yeah, it's good humbleness." But then in their real life is they see someone humble, someone who's really humble, and they go, "That guy's a dork or a nerd or crazy. You're unusual. You're scaring me. You're strange. You're not selfish enough." That's what's going on. Yeah, I'm angry and bitter about this, you bet, because I see this is so incredibly awful. But, it's just people are where they are in their mental states. I'm just trying to, I don't know, if this information is just adding more information on top, that's what I want to avoid. What I want to try, and it's probably not the right approach for me to be cynical about this, but I'm just a living being. I'm not a god. but I'm trying in any way I can to shed some light onto this stuff and to get people to understand. Oh man, yeah, what I've been doing, that was selfish. That was, I wasn't taking the other beings into account. You know, if you test on animals, you do not take other beings into account. Then religion comes in and puts the human DNA on the pedestal, and then the ego is real quick to say, see, it says all, see, it's written here in the Psalm, in the Bible, Matthew or something, or whatever these names are. And I've literally seen people, when I was talking to people about animals and making sure that they're safe, that people would actually, they would snap their Bible or just like this, and then thumb through and find the, I don't know, they're not that bright on other levels, but suddenly that's where they were real quick. And they got just the right page for this, and then see, it says here that we are, the animals are for our disposal. uh no, it's not right. Okay, just because some idiot psychopath wrote this doesn't mean it is true. Okay, sorry, most people who added their BS into that book, didn't come from the right mind state. This is true. Yes, yes, I do look a little bit like, yeah, I do look a little bit like that Logan Paul. I know. I admit it. I also look a little bit like the husband of that Nicole. His name is Brian. They call him Bri Bri. Yes, my haircut looks like this, and my face is also going quite in that direction. And we could call this video actually, we could call this video the scary, ugly cousin of Logan Paul had something to say. That's what I'm going to call the video. I was actually going to call the video the difference between self-love and selfishness, but that other thing sounds more interesting. So I don't know. Maybe I can get some people from that community to listen to my videos. I don't know. Whatever. I feel like, I feel like getting this super alkaline, nerdy bath bomb into a football stadium or something. My video is an alkaline bath bomb. I throw that into the acid soup of humanity. It's like, and it sizzles like right and left and up and down, and people go like, oh, I never heard anything like this before. That woman is insane. Oh gosh, she's ugly also, it's insane, and she's dark. Oh my god. Yes. Most of these comments are removed instantly by the YouTube guard bot, so they got that now. So that's kind of nice for people's nerves, but since I'm a psychic, I can feel it. I can feel these comments are there. They have been posted and then removed. So I personally don't remove those. I only remove comments that are threatening to anyone or myself, or that are cruel and violent. So even though this is violence too against me, it is verbal violence and abuse. I wouldn't remove it because some people, they get a laugh out of it. Some people have. So And I always welcome this, whatever is, if they laugh about me or whatever, if they think this is a situation comedy, or they think I am so hideous that it is funny, then I welcome this. I really do. Because I think laughing is good. Unless the laughter goes way into hatred, then that laughter is not healthy. Because that's hatred. So, yeah, laughter can be, that's like one big scale from complete innocence to complete violence and hostility. Okay, it's all there. All these nuances in between, I see it. This rock here is very powerful. It has a lot of iron in it. It's my Medusa rock. It is there for healing. It is infinite power and strength, healing power and truth. Truth. Truth rock. Medusa is about truth. Gianni Versace and his sister Donatella, they have designed, I don't know if they painted this themselves, but they designed this logo of the Medusa, and it is on all of their fashion, and they also make industrial design, which is really, really amazing. They make amazing things. And I even recently saw someone with a necklace that had the Medusa logo, Medusa pendant with the Medusa head on it. Pretty awesome. And they also have belt buckles with the Medusa. So I just want them to phase over to 100% vegan materials. That would be great. Get synthetic furs. Okay, they are amazing. Just amazing furs out there in the world. Absolutely amazing. So, fantastic materials. New materials that are coming from fossil fuel, but that's much better than animal skin. Okay. Much, much better. So each person can help with this by choosing wisely what we buy. For example, I don't wear any animal skins anymore. I don't wear wool either. I wear no more animal material. I'm vegan on every level. I wear plant material and plant material kind of like melanges. I think this has some synthetic in it. My pants is cotton and synthetic mixed in it, and my boots are synthetic. And the fur on the inside of my boots is synthetic. Okay. My belts are synthetic leather. And my belt buckles are awesome. They're made out of some kind of brass material. They're very awesome. And I also reuse, when I make art, I use packaging materials and I paint on those, and I make something beautiful out of it, like this here, for example. This one. This is packaging material. And two pieces of styrofoam. That's packaging material. That's packaging material. That's packaging material. All of this. Okay, this is packaging material. So, and then I have more standing there that I'm going to be using. Some Dr. Hauschka packages that I'm painting. And this styrofoam thing. I don't know. Paul ordered something, some tools, and I'm gonna make that into a painting, and it's nice. I like that. I love it. It's so much fun to do that, and it gets the garbage out of the world. So if everyone did that, we could make amazing things out of packaging materials that would just end up in the landfills. Most of them do. Just a few of them get recycled. And we also recycle. My husband is very good with this. He cuts the boxes up, puts them, stacks them on top of each other, and brings them to the recycling place, and the other items as well. And the old electronics, they should be safely disposed of. Okay, electronics, you can't just put electronics and batteries into the trash can. You can't do that. That's extremely polluting to planet Earth. That has to go to your local waste disposal facility, and they have specific containers and bins where those items go into. Also electronic cords that are old, or anything electronic, also light bulbs goes into that. And also, that all goes into electronic waste. And then we have specifically hazardous waste that is specifically dangerous and toxic, like lead, like old motor oil, and antifreeze, and paint. Old paint. I only use acrylic paint. That is pretty good for the environment. So, but if you have anything that has some lacquers or something in it, something that's not water soluble, that is toxic. And what else? Pharmaceutical wastes, like old pills of some sort. Pharmaceutical medication is toxic. I don't know why people put that into their bodies. It just makes them sicker instead of well. So that's all toxic, really bad for the environment. If that goes into the sewage facilities, that's pretty bad. Then they don't even filter the water out very well, and they dump sewage water level 3 back into the ocean. Not good. I visited a sewage facility. I know about a little bit about this. It's a huge scandal, huge corruption going on all levels, polluting, someone pocketing money, someone hiring an architect that charges 100 times more than he should, and all of these things, so it's not good what's happening. And I saw that's happening in all kinds of communities in the United States. Very, very shocking and heartbreaking. So much corruption, people pocketing money, inflated prices, on cost of the community, on cost of the unsuspecting residents. And then there are the residents that are religious. They get spoon-fed the corporate lie. Then they get turned against those that speak the truth, that try to help them, but they turn against those. You, Satan, whatever they call anyone who wants to help the community make things better. And that's how the corporate agenda has their grip on particularly religious people, because they come through the religion door and they use religion as their means of manipulating people. So it's very easy for them to do. And I am just hoping with my videos to shed some light onto this and get people to question all of these authorities, self-proclaimed, self-pushed in authority figurines, okay, that don't even come from any education, that are just greedy, that just want to get into those positions of mayor and city council positions so that they can do some massive conflict of interest. It's happening in every community, almost every community, more or less. So pay attention to this, just don't just lean back and do video games. That's not going to help the world. That's not going to make the world better. But the corporate agenda, they want people to duck away and do video games instead. They want people to be religious. It's so sad for me to see. That's so incredible. If you really understood what they do with your brain, if you really understood this. And this is not some wacky conspiracy kind of drama. This is real corruption. Okay? Real corruption that's happening out there. And you better take that seriously because it affects all of us. It affects you too, your entire life, your future, everything, your health. This is real serious. So making these videos, this is the only way I can, and chat rooms and Facebook. This is basically the only way I can get some information through to the world. And some people, a few people see this, and from 100 people, there'll be one person, and this is the common percentage, one out of 100 people cares and will think about information on their own accord without bias, without looking at through a lens of whatever religion or self-interest or whatever. So all of this is selfishness, is when people only do things if there's something in it for them. That's selfishness. The 1% of people that do things beyond the self, beyond the self-interest or what's in it for me, do I get rewarded or whatever. People who do good things beyond any of these agendas. That is altruism. That's kindness, that's compassion. And also don't confuse altruism now with self-sacrifice. Altruism is not self-sacrifice. Self-sacrifice is, it often comes from martyrdom or from religious ideologies, or there's another thing in it, like there's a reward hidden somewhere in there again, and maybe in the afterlife. So no, altruism is you do things for others, for other living beings, okay, without an agenda. I help a dog, I see a thirsty dog, I give him water. I don't do this because maybe the person down the street sees that and likes me for it, or maybe I get a promotion. No, you do this, and you do this for that other living being. And I will do it also if I lose my job. I will do it also if people will turn against me for it, or if I don't get monetized. So, and this is what I'm doing, I don't get monetized. You get rewarded only by society if you make things that cater to the corporate agenda. So if you cater in some way, whether it's the sex industry or religion or gambling, those are all selfish things. So that gets rewarded because it's like one big fat corruption soup. The 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 women who strip for YouTube, I don't blame them. They have fun and it's good. But they get, of course, they get the money, they get rewarded. And YouTube in the beginning, like, no, we don't allow this, and then like, let's put a clause into it, and now everyone does it. So yeah, I'm not gonna do it. Sorry, I just don't. I just don't have the nerve to do it. I know that would probably help, to get more views, if I show some. And, but I can't take it off. No, it's no way. And yeah, people love that, just love. That's like the number one thing on their mind is fun. Fun and get the mind of the past. So I understand, but that doesn't make the world a better place. That just feeds more into corruption. And I'm not saying to be austere or anything. So, these things get quickly misunderstood. I want people to have fun, but also think about the other living beings at the same time. For example, if you have a partner and you have sex every day and it's fun and you enjoy your life, I recommend to you not to drink alcohol. Because buying the booze is not making the world a better place. It makes the world bad. It really does. The alcohol making industry is bad for the planet. And it's toxic for people. And it's toxic when people drink alcohol in videos that get millions of views. It is bad influence, not good for the world. It's just, if you look at the bigger picture of it, it's just not good. So I think about all of these things. I think about, I'm old enough to see all of these consequences that arise out of these actions. I wished I could be more free and have more fun and reach a wider audience. The way I look is like not very, it's not exactly a clickbait. I don't have hair extensions, my hair is brittle, and I don't put fake eyelashes on. I don't have any makeup on at all. No, I'm a vegan. I'm not supposed to eat eggs. So, yeah, I don't even know if people watch these videos all the way through. They probably skip through, and then I'm in the middle of talking about something and then they go, ah, they completely take it out of context. And, oh my gosh, and they'll accuse me of being a selfish person because they didn't listen to the entire video. That's probably what happens. And people want to take things out of context. Like, see, oh, she got flaws. Yes, oh yes, I do have flaws. did I ever say I don't have any flaws? You think you're better than anyone else, right? No, I never thought that. Never, it never even occurs to me. So, yeah, but that shit is going on all the time, and it's pretty annoying, you know. It's pretty darn annoying to hear this over and over again. Pretty darn annoying. I don't know. Thinking about my life and thinking about how much better it probably would be if I meet people where they are. But that would imply that I dress the way the other women do, and that I party the way they do, and then I would constantly be running against obstacles. Like if I even, I mean, it's you talk to people about the weather. It's not even safe to talk about the weather anymore because obviously the weather shifted. If anyone has paid any attention to this, and and it shifted because of massive CO2 and methane gas pollution that caused the weather pattern shift. So now it's like, nice weather, huh? Yeah. And then someone will probably say, it's a bit gusty today here. We never had such a wind. And then I go, let's take a look at why that is, okay? And immediately that person doesn't like me anymore, Okay, this is how it all starts. If I had a reality TV show, which probably would never happen, because I'm going against the corporate agenda. The reason why they even put people in the reality TV show is because that show makes money, and it also caters to the corporate agenda, in terms of medical industry, plastic surgery, and all of that. Vanity, the entire vanity industry of hair extensions, bleach, eyelashes, makeup, and foundation, lipsticks, all that stuff, that's like massive amounts of stuff that is generated that people of 50,000 years ago didn't need in order to mate, So they didn't need it. No, there were a lot of women with facial hair 50,000 years ago, and they had hair over their whole bodies. So, man, I'm lucky that I don't have that. But yeah, but they weren't thinking about having laser hair removed or laser hair removal operations done or or lip balm or lip gloss or anything. No, 50,000, it was pretty rudimentary. They didn't need all of this. So why do we need all of this today? That's the question. I mean, yeah, I'm not saying that I'm completely outside of it. I'm not at all. And I understand, it's fun and all of this, and we all feel inadequate, so we want to make ourselves feel more adequate, more Barbie, more pretty. Of course. So it's also artistic. I like colors. I have to. This is already coming off now. It's peeling off. So I like nail polish on my really, really short cut fingernails. I like it. I love the way that looks. It looks innocent. I like it. I'll have that for the rest of my life, even when I'm 100 years old. Like, do me some nice wet and wild nail polish. Yes, you can do that. Your hands don't shake. You can put that on. I just want to be free, you know. I just want to be free. I want to be free from all of that, from all of the things that shackle other people, and whether that's religions or peer groups or belonging to someone, to belonging to a group or to some profession or some team. I don't want any of these pressures. I don't want it. And I certainly want to heal my mental illness. I want to heal all of this, the jealousy and feeling like entitlement. You know, I notice it. I mean, I'm working on it hard, but I do notice it, you know, once in a while when I get cynical. Every time there is some kind of cynicism, there's anger and there is a feeling of being victimized. And there's a feeling of like feeling unempowered, helpless. And that brings up bitterness. And then, yeah, I observe this in myself. And I have jealousy, you know, I'm jealous of that Tana Mongon or whatever, Tana Mongeon. I think it's a French name. Yeah, I think she is the most beautiful woman in the world. So check her out, she's already famous. But yeah, she's eye candy, she's incredibly hot. My gosh. And I'm not saying this because I'm attracted to her, because I'm not attracted to her. I'm not attracted to women. I just say it because I'm honest. You know? And I know what men like. So that is what men like. That's the epitome of what men want. And it's good, and I'm happy for her, you know. But I'm jealous. Of course I'm jealous. You know? I'm old, she's young. You know, she's in good shape physically and has hair extensions. She's famous. She's free with everything. She has fun. I don't have like that kind of fun. So, yeah, I'm jealous. And you know, this is kind of liberating actually. The moment we can say, I am jealous. I snicker about this because it's also because it's funny, because there's a situation comedy in it. But it's actually funnier when I see myself or someone else act jealous without admitting it. That's even more hilarious in a way. It's even more, because it's even more painful. That's why. So it's like there's a comedy in suffering actually, which is bizarre. It's really bizarre. But it's I know how that feels, you know. Oh my gosh, yeah, I expressed that well or something, and then it's kind of funny, but it's really not funny, and it becomes really absolutely not funny. I laugh now, but it's really absolutely not funny when someone is even in denial about being jealous. That's when it gets critical. That's when the inner troll comes out and really trolls the shit out of a chat room. When there's jealousy that is unconscious, that's not even they're not even aware about it. So they'll go and they'll really try to find fault with that other person they're jealous of. My goodness, I've seen it over and over again. I have seen the prettiest, most beautiful teenage girls bullied into the ground by other girls in a most vicious way, in the most what, and the trolls know what hurts. They do know what hurts, even though they themselves are absolutely unconscious about their own feelings. They know what hurts, so they'll lash it out at someone else. And that is the worst mental state that anyone can be in a troll mental state. That's the worst. It doesn't get any worse. That's when people become psychotic and psychopath and violent, because they're completely disconnected on the inside, because they're so caught up, they're in such denial, they're so unconscious. Unconsciousness is a disconnect. So I hope to shed light onto this with my videos and help other people come back to ground zero within themselves and really meditate on this and come clean to themselves about their mental states, and not deny it. People deny mental states because they're afraid of being shamed, because they have been so much shamed so much that they want to run away from that, and they don't ever want to experience that again. But there's nothing to be ashamed about if you're jealous. Why should you be ashamed about suffering? You're already suffering. Why should you be ashamed about that state of suffering? You should feel sorry for yourself for that, and for other people who are in that state. So you should comfort yourself, give yourself something good, and you should meditate on it, and you should not run away from it. You should not deny, because if you deny it, it gets worse. It gets much worse. I've been through all of this, trust me. I know what I'm talking about. I've been through hell and back a million times in my life. So, Papa Dog, why are you scratching on the door? What is this? What is this? What does the Papa Dog want? Papa Dog, the door is open outside. I think he wants chicken. I think that's what it is. That's what it is, yes. I'm gonna have to give the Papa Dog something. Okay, you guys take care. Bye-bye.